I mean, I could start singing here, but I'd probably break your speakers. Oh, excellent. Action. Okay, yeah, perfect. We got action packed. Love it. Here we don't. What do you mean, here we don't? Are you going to murder the team? Hang on, I've noticed something. Hold on. After my laggy PlayStation, eventually after... Alright, we need to have a word, my friend. You have qualified behind your teammate. Turn 1 is not a... Well, actually, Ross, you'll keep an eye on lap 8 of the feature with my behalf. Nudge. Turn 1 is not a place you typically go to cars wide through. Are you going to murder your teammate again? Or are you actually going to let him drive for a lap? Anything? No. How long's it been? It's been 2 minutes. We'll give it another minute before we start. What do you mean, shame on me? I don't murder teammates. I'm yet to murder a teammate, or even touch a teammate, let alone murder them. You sent one into the fucking... No, excuse me, shouldn't swear. Child friendly. I forgot. Deco's in here, so we need to be child friendly. You sent Ross into the realm of Narnia. Ah, well, the second ALR, the second Wikipedia of ALR has just informed me of a little stat. Cracking on with the grid. The last time we raced at Trail Mountain, Ross got himself a double win. So this ought to be very interesting. If Ross can repeat his little stat. It'd be nice, it'd be really good for the AMGs. Not supporting them at all. But we'll have to keep an eye out. But going through the grid, we got Arcus in first in the GTR. We then got Tap in second in the Alfa Romeo. The Alfa Romeo is swift around this place. It's not too shabby. We then got Senor Thak in third position. We then got Deco in fourth. These two actually got no TV, as they say, TV time, in their words, the last race at all, because these two decided to be Lando Norris and Max Verstappen and disappear, whilst everybody else had a really good fight. We then got Brian Coyle in fifth position. We then got Ross in sixth. We got Aro in seventh. We then got Scotty in eighth. We got Pyro in ninth, the top 10 for Pyro in qualifying session. We then got Mortal in 10th. We then got Claus in 11th. Higsy in 12th. The Porsche's not having a great time in qualifying in their starts. The Porsche is renowned for its extreme slow starts, so their 11th and 12th is probably going to be like 13th or 14th. We then got Davy in 13th, we got Icy in 14th, and we got Turbo in 15th. And rounding off, I believe, it's all about the TV time. Yeah, you got to get your free, you got to get the sponsorship in. The sponsors won't be too happy if you don't get any TV time. Let me just double check. Then we got Swavy, who's just served his qualifying ban all the way down in 16th. So Swavy's got a lot of work to do to get up to the top 10. Now, let's get cracking, as we got 5 red lights. And away we go. Tap seems to have got a pretty decent start. Who's that? There's a yellow car back here. Scotty's not got the... Was it Scotty that didn't get a good start? I don't know. Someone looked like they were staying still for a minute. As we go round through turn 1, who dies and who survives? Someone's already died. Swavy's dead. How did... No. Yeah, the Supra up ahead just didn't get away. I'm surprised the Porsches actually kept a really good position, kept at 11th and 12th position, considering the fact that they got bad starts. Suave straight up to 14th. Oh, there's contact with Claus. Big damage to Suave. But what's happened to Ross? Oh, Ross just got really loose and then tapped by Mortal. Pyro's now up to 7th. Ara's now down to 9th. So Ross and Suave are all the way down the back of the grid. I'm probably going to use this camera angle probably for most of the occasion. We then got Higgsy up to 9th. We got Scotty trying to go up the inside of Pyro after the tunnel. He's made it work. He's got the switchback, but we now go around this fast right-hander. Can Pyro get an offset line? You can go through here very, very quickly. Pyro takes the tighter line, which is the quicker line, because you can get on the throttle very, very early and get a very good run. Let's jump on board with Pyro as we come down this tunnel, approaching one of the fastest points on the track. Pyro deep in the Supra slipstream. That Supra's got some legs, but the GTR has probably got better brakes. Let's see, does Pyro make a move? No, he doesn't. Further back, as I try and get my camera angles all correct. Let's go back and have a look. Let's go back and have a look at these guys. Let's stay back here for a second as I come back to the comments in just a moment. Aro tries to go around the outside of Higgsy. Can he make it work? He tries to make it work. Does the outside then turns to the inside, but I don't think he's alongside enough as we go too wide through this bit. You can't really make it go too wide, but they made it work. Aro losing out just a little bit, getting nudged by Claus as we go further forward. Mortal's up to 6th with a fantastic opening lap. We then got Deco and Senor Fac still in 4th and 5th. We then got Prime in 3rd. And Tab still in 2nd, and Arca still in 1st as we go further back. Pyro has managed to get past Scotty in the final closing stages of this opening lap. As we come back, as a couple of cars, I say a couple of cars, most of the grid makes contact with that outside wall. Ross and Suave's just about starting to catch up to the back of this grid. They've got clean air, so they will be able to run a bit quicker through the corners as we go side by side into turn 1. Claus tries to hug the inside line around Icy. Icy takes the outside line, makes it work. So Icy now up to 11th, but Claus gets the switch back. Icy's now off onto the grass, so Icy's now going to drop back. Turbo's going to try and capitalise. Davy capitalise on his teammate going off. No, he can't quite as we come. As Icy's into the wall again, so Davy does capitalise on the following corner. So Icy not having a good lap at the moment. Let's skip forward a couple of cars. I want to find out. Here we go. We got a battle for second going on. We got the Alfa Romeo versus the Chevrolet Corvette versus the Lamborghini Huracan. The Huracan keeps out the slipstream for a second, which might cost him a little bit. Back into the slipstream. Does he dive out for the last second? He does. He brakes a little bit later. He goes, got this inside of Prime. Can Senor Fat get it to work? He can. He's done it. Prime can't quite respond as we go into the right-hander. So good move from Senor Fat. Can Deco, who's not had any TV time at all, as he quotes, can he make it work? He's a bit too far back at the moment. Coming back through the rest of the grid. Let's have a little look back here. Here we go. Turbo trying to go up the inside of Aro. Aro can manage, just about manages to hold off at the moment. That's a bit further back. We got Davy getting involved as well, so we'll probably stay on board with Davy so we can keep an eye on 3 or 4 cars at the same time. Turbo goes a little deep into the second to last corner, excuse me, as Davy gets a little bit sideways coming out, so that's going to ruin the momentum he just gained on the Supra. So now it's going to be slipstream battle, which the Supra is going to win this one. Right, sorry, just catching up on the comments as... Yeah, Perry won't let me use one of his liveries again. Yeah, he won't. You got to get the correct advertisement in. As Ross is now getting involved with the battle for P12 as well. Ross having a sprint race kind of similar to mine. Just... Oh, who spun out? Aro. No. What's happened here? Ross, as we go into the right-hander, does he just get a little bit, he just gets a little bit too happy on the gas. Coming out the right-hander, so that's going to cost him big time as through goes Suave. Now up into 15th. Icy's got a half-second penalty. Ross, a stick on board of Ross. So I'm interested to see the battle for 11th now between Turbo, Davi and Ross. Now whilst we're waiting for these guys to sort out this positioning on the... Ross has contact with the... Yep. Yeah, I remember you had contact last time with Mortal as well. As Turbo defends the inside from Davi. Turbo goes a little deep on the second part of the corner. Davi tries to get the switch back. Ross hits the apex and closes the gap right off. Ross is going to try and set these guys up, I should imagine, for the next corner. Turbo goes a little bit wider. This allows Davi to try and get alongside. Turbo defending the inside. Davi's going to try the switch back. Can he get it to work? He can't get the drive. Ross is now a lot closer than he was at the back straight. Davi later on the brakes. Does he get the switch back? He's trying to get the switch back. He comes straight across the front of Ross. Ross has to back out, loses a little bit of traction, so this now might put him in the grips of Icy, but Icy's now got a penalty, so threat from behind is eliminated. Let's go forward and let's follow these guys for a minute before I go forward again, as Arcus, looking on the mini-map, is miles ahead. Davi backs out as we go through turn 1, so let's go forward again. Pyro now down to 9th, Higgsy and Scotty ahead. Mortal having a battle with Deco for 5th position as the two Corvettes. The two Corvettes going to try and work with each other to try and get up into the top 5. As Pyro is now defending from Claws. Claws trying to have a go at Pyro as well, so let's jump on board with these guys. And Pyro has the inside line. That's better, this is the camera angle I want. Claws gets done around the outside, so good move from Claws, but Pyro in the GTR is going to have a slightly better straight line speed. Claws has gone all the way to the wall to try and minimise the slipstream. That's now ended here, so Pyro has a look to the inside. Claws doesn't defend. Claws breaks a little bit earlier than Pyro. Pyro has the inside line. Pyro gets it done on the hairpin, so great move from Pyro, going further back. Turbo's got a 1.5 second penalty, so this is going to push him behind Ross here. Going further forward, Pyro has a horrible right-hander. This allows Claws to get right back up on the inside. As can Pyro get the switch back done? Gets on the power. Claws is slightly on the dust. It's not going to be enough though, so Claws gets the move done. Let's go further forward as we got Higgsy chasing down Scott, who's chasing down Mortal, who's dropped off the back of Deco. Deco's now all over the back of Prime. Prime's not quite in the slipstream with Senor Fak. Senor Fak and Tap are now having a go at each other as well as we come up towards turn 1. As Senor Fak sends it up the inside, so lovely move. I think Tap backed out of that, and that's now cost him big time. Let's go back and have a look at Tap's. Yeah, he does. He backs out of it quite a bit. He probably could have gone two side by side through there, because this has now pushed you right back behind Prime. Prime's just said thank you very much, and now he's going to be under attack from Deco if he's not careful. Deco tries to take the tighter line. This forces Tap out wider, probably not on the ideal line he wants to be on. So Prime's taking a massive advantage from Senor's Fak attack on Tap going into turn 1. This is now bunching up the pack quite a bit as we got Arcus, who, well, just cruising at the moment. What's the cameras like down here? Okay, not that great. Sounds lovely though. What's happened to... If I can get my correct camera, that's the camera I want. Ooh! Scotty not making the left-hander, excuse me, but just before the tunnel will work, because he's now got front right damage. He's just gone a little too hot into the corner, but he's only lost out to Higgsy. It's not massive difference. Claws isn't quite able to catch up. Now coming further back, Davi is in 11th. Ross is now chasing Davi down for 11th position. We got just over 3 laps, excuse me, to go. Icy's dropped back as well. Turbo's dropped back all the way behind Icy. Ari's starting to catch up, and Swavy's just dropped right. Let's find a battle for us to watch. Right, celebrate 30 years of PlayStation. Cool, don't care. I'm in the middle of something. I'll come to that later. Go away. Thank you. Pyro taking a slightly different line. Can he catch up to the back of Claws? Claws got a little bit sideways on the final corner. So is this going to allow Pyro to catch up? I don't think it's going to quite allow him to close that gap enough. No, it's not. Going further forward, we got the battle at the moment really for sort of third. Oh, Higgsy's got himself a 1.5 second penalty as well. Where did he get that? Where did you get that? Did you get that here? You got that. Wow. I know I never do this, but yep, that's where you got it. All 4 tyres are on the curb at turn 1. Wow. One and a half seconds penalty for that. I think that's quite harsh. You didn't really gain anything there. So Higgsy's race for 6th position is pretty much done. This is going to push Higgsy right back into the grips of Scotty, maybe even a bit further back into Claws and Pyro, if he's not careful. So let's keep with this group in the middle. Senor Fak in 2nd position has just cleared this group. Prime's not able to keep it up at the moment. Can Deco catch up to the back of Tap? Now, that Alfa Romeo, like I said at the very start, is no slouch around this track. I can imagine you weren't too pleased with that. To be fair, turn 4 I clipped the grass twice in the sprint, and I got 1.5 seconds time penalty for the first time, and the second time I did it I got a 2-second penalty. I was not happy either. So you're not the only one that wasn't happy about the penalties. Going further back, I want to watch this again because Pyro has caught right up to the back of Claws. I did just spot this on the mini-map. So as we go around the right, over the crest to the left, braking downhill to the right-hander. Where does Claws get it wrong? Claws just gets it wrong under braking. Just understeers right out and then just kisses the wall on the rock wall on the outside. No damage done, obviously, but emotional damage done to the rock wall. So Claws now down to 10th, Pyro up to 9th position. Going further forward. This is where Higgsy's going to serve his penalty. Where's he going to drop back to? Now, Higgsy's going to be really slow at the moment, so Scotty's gone past. Pyro's not close enough, so Higgsy manages to really only sort of lose out a place to Scotty, but Pyro's got his own problems. Pyro's got Claws all over the back of him going down the front straight. As we go through turn 2, around turn 3, Claws gets it all sorts of wrong, kisses the dot on the outside twice now as we go into the tunnel. Pyro has a cleaner line, so this gives him a bit of space. As Ross is in 11th, gotten past Davy, well, he must imagine he's had a penalty. Ross setting really consistent times, trying to catch up to the back of the grid from where he span out here on lap, where he had his collision on lap 1 at this opening couple of corners. As we go round the left hander, I'm going to jump further forward and find ourselves a battle which is probably going to be here for a moment, I reckon. So let's jump on board with Higgsy for a minute. Come plunging down the hill. That Porsche quick in the slipstream of that Super E's not gone for it. Higgsy's going to sit behind. Let's jump further forward again. As Mortal's now starting to catch up to the back of Deco. Prime, Tap and Deco still all battling it out for third position. The person, Prime's not got great tyres here at all. Tap and Deco have got much better tyres. If anything, Deco might be slightly better on his tyres. Oh, Tap gets it all sorts of wrong. This is going to allow Prime to escape. Deco's not able to really get out of the way from that. As Tap defends the inside line, Deco lifts off the throttle as we shove it into turn 1. Deco hits his apexes. Tap just misses the first one. As they hit the third one, we're on the final lap of the sprint race. Can Deco make anything happen and get fourth position here at the sprint? Prime's pretty much got third sealed of it, providing he doesn't make a single mistake. As Tap's slightly quicker through sector 1. Can Deco manage to find any speed? Tap's gone really, really wide. There's a yellow flag further up ahead. Whoa, what's happened? What's happened to Arcus? The driver I haven't seen all race because they just disappeared. Oh, they make the mistake on the final lap as they just kiss the outside wall, spin completely out of control. So this promotes Senor Fak up to first. Arcus has now got front and rear damage as well as rear right tyre damage. Arcus plummets down the field from first all the way down to sixth. This promotes Prime up to second, Tap up to third, Deco up to fourth. So this is now a podium spot for Deco that they're battling for. We'll come back to that in just a moment as we'll stick with these guys through the final couple of corners. As we got Arcus defending from Scotty, who's also trying to defend from Higgsy. Higgsy now goes up to sixth. Arcus is down to seventh. So Arcus's last lap has just gone from bad to complete worse. But I'm going to give Samuel Fak a little bit of a moment in shining glory because again, Lamborghini seem to not have much TV time as I've been told for the past week. As he comes around the final corner, he got extremely lucky. The fact that the GTR driver made a critical mistake going onto the back track. So Samuel Fak again takes victory in the sprint race. We then got Prime holds off second position from Tap and Deco. Tap holds off third from Deco. Deco in fourth, Morto in fifth, Higgsy in sixth, Scotty in seventh, Pyro in eighth, Ross in ninth. Claus in a stylish fashion finishes in 10th position, Davy in 11th, Turbos in 12th, Arcus in 13th. I might have to watch this final lap again because I'm going to go back and watch this final lap again because something's happened. Let's go back a couple. Right, so let's go back from here. I want to see what has happened from the end of the tunnel. So these two are battling for seventh as it is. Arcus is trying to build up speed again, so Arcus brakes a little bit later, probably a little bit too late than what they were thinking. Higgsy does a double switchback, gets a double overtake done on the hairpin, so lovely move from the Porsche driver. Scotty loses it out, now down to 8th. Arcus is trying to hold on to 7th position as long as they can. Oh, that's going to do it. That's not going to do your race any good at all. Oh no, their race has just gone from bad to complete worse. This has gone from out the frying pan into the fire type of race. As further back we got Aro, who's had a horrible sprint race as well. He's trying to battle for 14th. Icy goes off onto the dust. Can Aro capitalise on the mistake that Icy in the McLaren has made? As Aro goes around the outside, there's a little bit of contact there. Icy tries to get a switchback, overdoes it. So it confirms Aro's position in 14th. Arcus in 13th, Aro in 14th, Icy in 15th, and then bringing up the rear is Suave in 16th. Yep, that was entertaining. You said it would be entertaining, and that was definitely entertaining. Wow. Yeah. Excuse me? Thank you. There we go. That's better. feature would be more oh god. If you're saying the feature would be more entertaining, I'm expecting more chaos. See, that last lap kind of turned into last season's Tier 5, where it was chaos and so much was going on. So, Deco and Senor Fac have done Perry a favour. They have given Perry and his design and all the special sponsorships TV time, as they've complained to me about numerous times. So Perry's going to be kept happy. Chaos has made a really unfortunate. I'm going to choose my words very carefully here. Made a really unfortunate mistake, which then cost them 12 positions, well, 12 or 13 positions. Ross got murdered on the first lap. Swavi made up a good couple of spots on turn 1, then got murdered, or a mistake happened. Arrow's made a mistake by overcooking the rear tyres, excuse me. Who else? I think Scotty even made contact with the tunnel as well, so a few mistakes going on in Tier 2. Obviously, I'm one to talk, because I made some as well. But I'm going to openly admit to that, and I'm fully expecting heat coming my way. Let's put it that way. At the moment, this loading time's going faster than my actual race. Yep, don't play the thing, I just link you. Gonna load. Do. Oh, well, whilst I've got a few of you here, I'm going to do my duty as commentator. For those in ALR itself, make sure you check out the announcement page on the GT announcement. Over Christmas, we have got 2 events coming up. We have got between Jin mostly organising it, but Yuri and I helping him out as well as doing a test previously. We have got a multi-class special coming up on the 3rd of January next year in 2025. We also have a Radical International Cup going on over the Christmas holidays. So for those who don't like their family or love their family so much that they want to race, there are 4 races. I say 4. There are 4 main races in the Radical Cup on the 21st of December, 23rd, 27th of December, and the 30th of December in various tracks. So if you're interested in any of those, please go to the GT announcements page and sign up. But with my advertisement voice and clause over, let's crack on with the feature. So like last time, and like I explained last time, you cannot use like a medium or a soft strategy or like a hard strategy. You now have to change compounds. The main compound and the fastest compound around this track is going to be the hard medium. Someone in our tier did try the soft medium strategy, and it didn't actually go too bad. So that being said, we've got Claus in first on the hard tyres, we've got Ross in second on the hards, we then got Pyro in third on the hards, Scotty in fourth, Higgsy in fifth, Mortal in sixth, Deco in seventh, Tap in eighth, Prime in ninth, Senor Fak in 10th. That's rounding off the top 10. We then got Davi in 11th on the medium, so he's going to be the first driver on the medium tyre. We then got Turbo in 12th on the hards. Arcus in 13th on the hards, Aro in 14th on the hards, Icy in 15th on the hards, and Swavy in 16th, bringing up the rear on the medium tyres also. So there's only 2 drivers on the mediums. They potentially could have an early advantage, as Scotty's car does not know how to keep up with a GTR. So let's follow the group down, as Pyro's managed to already pull past Scotty, as Scotty's already been overtaken by Higgsy. Scotty's also going to get probably done by Mortal as well. Okay, we're going back. I think Scotty had a little bit of lags. He just doesn't. He seemed to swerve and didn't get to move at all. So here comes Mortal as well. Let's jump on the back with Deco. Let's see what happens. Scotty on the hard tyres is just so used to having grip on the softs and probably even the mediums that he just piles back. It's even his teammates passed him, so he's now down to 13th. So Scotty's having a great opening lap. He's got damage on the front right though. He's not going to be able to do it, as Aro goes through as well. Well, the GTR nearly has another moment and sent into another dimension. Going further forward, the top 3 haven't changed, top 3 haven't gained. Higgsy's dropped off a bit. I want to jump back here though. I want to stay in the mid pack, as everybody's hit the dust on the inside to try and open up this corner as much as humanly possible. Let's stay on board with Davi, who's got the best slipstream of the lot. I think Turbo's a bit too far back. So Davi decided not to come out with Senor Fak and dropped out a little bit as Tap goes up the inside of Deco. Further up ahead, Prime's going to try and take advantage of this as well. So Deco's lost out 2 spots. Prime's now gotten through. Prime and Tap have gotten through in the same corner. Now the 2 Lamborghinis are together. Now the last time the 2 Lamborghinis were together, they did perform some magic. So we will be keeping an eye out. Looking on the menu app, no one seems to have died. Senor Fak itching to get past his teammate. Oh, as Davi is very late on the brakes, tries to go around the outside of the Lamborghinis. Is this going to cost him because he's out of position? Excuse me, as Turbo on the hard tyres, not as grippy as the mediums of Davi up ahead, but we will have to see. Where's Swavy? Swavy's up to 14th. Scotty's had a horrible lap, dropped about 10 places in 1 lap, so Scott's going to want to potentially try and creep back some position. Davi getting a little sideways as we go a bit further forward. Prime goes really wide as we go through the tunnel. Deco takes advantage, slots straight back up to 7th position. Now Senor Fak's going to try and get past Prime. How's he going to do it? He opens up the corner, opens up, that's it. Doesn't quite get as tight as the Corvette in front of him, excuse me, so I can't seem to speak English this afternoon. Everyone sticking into the slipstream. Driver at the front, Tap's trying to break the slipstream, so he's made his one move. He sits in the middle of the road as he's allowed to do. Further up ahead, we've got Mortal versus Higgsy versus Pyro. Higgsy and Mortal have caught up. What's happened back here? What's happened back here? So Aro and Arcus fighting for 12th position. Arcus gets a little bit of the slipstream from the cars ahead, has also slight better top speed, I think. So Aro tries to go around the outside. Can he make it work? Arcus does make it work, goes up the inside. Swavy's going to try and have a piece of this as well. Swavy does make it work. So Swavy up to 13th, Aro down to 14th. Not having a great feature race at the moment. Going further forward. And the Tap train at the moment is Prime makes a really rare mistake as he spins around, does a full 360, assisted a little bit by Senor. So, Davi's now up to 8th position, gets past 2 drivers quite easily. Turbo now up to 10th. Suave's now trying to get Arcus around the outside. Can he make it work? No. Decides to collide with the barrier and reform the front of his car. So Arcus now up to 11th. Let's jump back over here. Prime's now dropped down to 15th. Right off the back of this train. Ara's up to 12th. Going to try and find up a couple of spaces. It's going to get interesting through here. I'm going to go back. I've just spotted something. What's going on up here? What's going on? What's going on? That's what's going on. Claus does not know how to drive. Clearly through turn 1, 2 and 3. Ross is going to try and capitalise. Does Ross try and go around the outside in the tunnel? Here comes Pyro as well. Pyro wants a piece of this. Mortal's gotten himself past Higgsy. Pyro's going to try and outdrag and outrace Ross as Pyro tries to go around the outside. That's not going to happen. That's not going to work. So Mortal's now having a piece as well. Mortal's now up to 3rd. Goes a little bit deep. Ross is still chasing down Claus. Pyro goes for the switchback. Mortal has the inside line, which is a faster line. He's able to get his foot down early on cuts in front of Pyro. So Pyro now is down to 4th. Higgs is getting involved. This has brought Tap and Davy in. Deco in, and Davy's not too far back as well. So this is really a battle for first between a fair few drivers at the moment. Higgsy defends the inside from Tap. Tap tries to go around the outside. Who's that up ahead? Mortal's gone out wide. Pyro's nearly lost it. Coming out of the hairpin. Let's go a bit further back to Tap's perspective. Oh, there's a little lock up. There's a collision's been made. Higgsy's been pushed out wide by Tap. Tap breaking later than he expected. Deco's going to take advantage of this. Tap's lifted off to not pass Higgsy and make it a fair pass this time. Deco is not able to manage to take advantage as Tap tries to take back 6th position. Tap holding the inside line, brakes. This time does not hit Higgsy. Davy's now very much involved. Senor Fag's now getting involved. Arcus isn't far back either, so what's going on? What's going on? Claus, what's happened? What have you done? As Claus goes around the right-hander. Ross have a very big smile on his face, so Ross now takes lead as we got Mortal in 2nd position, trying to chase down Ross for the lead of this race. Decides to push Ross, not try and go for an attack into turn 1. Pyro still holds on to 3rd position. Higgsy's a bit further back as we go further forward. Yeah, these two still survive. Everyone's surviving at the moment. So a lot of these drivers keeping the corner quite tight, which is interesting. So Arcus, who was the sprint race leader for 8 laps, has now just been passed by Suave. Lovely move by Suave up the inside. Can Suave hold on to 9th though? For now, now Suave can't as Turbo kisses the wall. Scotty up to 12th, Prime up to 13th, now trying to chase down the rest of the pack. Aro dropped back off the pack in 14th. Icy's even further back. And Higgsy, after the fatal error at the last corner of the previous lap, and now all the way back down to pretty much Pram last. So let's jump back forward. Ross still defending and holding off. Mortal opened up a bit of a gap. Ross dropped back off these two. Just holding off and still got a healthy gap at the moment to Higgsy. Higgsy's now under pressure from Tap, who's still under pressure from Deco. And Davy's dropped back off as well, so we'll stick with these guys for the moment. Let's try a bit of cinematic cameras. Let's see how this works. Anyone touched the wall? Not that I just saw. So Tap dropped off the back a little bit of Higgsy. Higgsy's managed to catch back up a little bit. No, the gaps will remain the same. It looked like it from the cinematic camera. I prefer this view, personally. Pyro struggling a little bit in the tunnel section. Higgsy's closed right up. Tap's not really closing up on Higgsy, and Deco's all over the back of Tap now. So I'm smelling a move at the end of this corner. My money is going to be on Higgsy making a move on Pyro, and it's sticking. That's my money. Now, I haven't seen any of this race, so this is going to be genuine first reaction, if this actually works. So, Tap able to pull a little bit of a gap out to Deco. Let's go forward to Higgsy and Pyro. The move was attempted. Higgsy wasn't quite close enough. So Pyro still holding on to third position. Let's have a little look back through the grid. As we Arcus and Swavi still battling out for 9th position. Deco, what's happened to you, mate? The Pyro train's glorious, I know. That's what's happened. So Deco getting the braking point a little bit wrong, gives Tap a little bit of a nudge. This makes Deco smell very slow, excuse me, I can't pronounce my English clearly. Now Davi's going to try and take advantage as well, so now Deco's out the slipstream, out the toe of Tap. It's further behind, we've got the other Lankini of Senor Fak all over the back of Davi, who's gone a little bit sideways. This is a proper train. This ain't the DRS train of Formula 1. So Mortal's still all over the back of Ross. Ross managing the pressure. Pyro doing well. Tap got a little bit of a breathing space now from Deco as we go through the tunnel. Tap's managed to open that gap up a little bit. Davi's all over the back of Deco, but remember, Davi's on the medium tyre. So unless Davi's doing a medium soft strategy, at the moment it's probably going to be a slight advantage to Deco because he's got a little bit more tyre to use. Now the optimum strategy for the hard tyres is about 10 laps on the hards, and then you want about 12 laps on the mediums. This Tap's got himself a sensible gap to Deco, excuse me. Let's see, he goes for a move up the inside. Pyro slams the door shut. So Higgsy's still trying to get third position. Tap sort of in a bit of no man's land, as we now have a Deco train and a Tap train. So the carriage clearly has departed for London. It's set off early. And then we got this. Swavi goes up the inside of Arcus. Let's go back and have a look at that. And thank God I looked backwards, because we would have missed that. So Swavi with the fastest lap at the moment. Now bear in mind, Davi and Swavi, need to be careful with them. Oh, careful Swavi, because that too much pushing, that could be classed as a push pass. Rubbing is racing, and I'd say that's okay. She didn't really push him. But Swavi's now back ahead of Arcus. Arcus now down to 10th position, going a bit further back. We got Branco versus Scotty. We got Aro just behind, who is going to now try and capitalise on the fact Scotty's just made a slight mistake as Klaus has left us. Look, we're now down to 15 drivers as Icy's now bringing up the rear of the field, going further forward. We want to stay with this battle over here as Tap has now managed to get past Higgsy. How has this happened? Higgsy versus Pyros, we're going side by side into turn 1. Pyro's got the inside. Higgsy just loses the rear, gets offset. Tap's going to make the advantage of this as we go through turn 3. A lovely move from Tap. So Tap up to 4th. Higgsy down to 5th as Deco's going to try and take advantage of this as well. But Davi's going to take most advantage of them all as he's got this higher grip. As Davi goes right around the outside of Deco, tries to get Higgsy. Higgsy defends a little bit, and then Davi goes straight up the inside of Higgsy. So a wonderful move from the excuse me, the McLaren driver. Higgsy looks like he's starting to struggle a bit now. Let's see what we can get there as we go 3 wide down the tunnel. Seems like the Alfa Romeo has got a higher top end than the Lamborghinis. As Suave makes it, does he make it 2 for 1? He's trying to make it 2 for 1. Let's jump back and watch. He does make it 2 for 1. That was a little bit of a nargy-bargy. I'm not sure if that was a snap of oversteer or not. Going further back, Arcus has even gotten past Deco, so Deco's lost out big time here. So Deco down to 10th, Arcus up to 9th, Senor Fax still in 8th, Suave up to 7th. Now trying to fight Higgsy in the Porsche 911 for 6th position, further up ahead. Davies not hanging around, he's trying to make advantage of that medium tyres, he's trying to go around the outside, then the inside of Tap. Tap's not going to allow it. That was okay, careful Davy. That could have ended really badly. In actual fact, it could end badly. Higgsy's has got the overall speed advantage at the moment. He's definitely in the slipstream now. Can he make advantage? No, he can't. Davi's just a bit too far ahead, going further back. We've got Senor Fac all over the back of Higgsy. Going further forward, Pyro's now been released and is now free. Further forward than that, Ross versus Mortal. Mortal's still behind, still the same sort of distance, but we're going to come back here. This is where the fight is. We're going to stay back here. Senor Fact trying to go up the inside of Higgsy. That's not going to work. Senor Fact's also got Suave to worry about as well. Further back from that, we've got Arcus getting involved. Arcus is going up the inside just before the second tunnel. Has made it work, but slams the door shut on Suave. So the GTR driver is now starting to pick up the pace. I think the crossover between the mediums and the hards for Suave has potentially been met. We're on lap 8 of 22. Now, Jesus Christ, the straight line speed of that Alfa Romeo has just gone steam. Okay, what? Let's come back. So Suave using the overspeed on and the slipstream to get himself up the inside nicely. Oh, that's okay. Let's try and break this down. Let's jump here. So we all break about the same sort of time. Now, Arcus's line is sort of sweeping like this. Suave, Senor Fac, and Deco are trying to keep a tighter line. Now, Arcus is very much allowed to shut the door here. Deco is not alongside. Suave is now starting to go a little bit sideways. He's starting to lose the grip hit a little bit. Now, Deco's contact's been made there. So Deco's crashed into Arcus. Deco's now screwed himself over. Turbo's now got nowhere to go. Turbo cannot go anywhere. Crash into there. Prime's even hit Turbo as well. So Scotty's managed to avoid 2 of them. Avoid 3 of them. So Scotty's really taken the most advantage out of that. I want to go back again and have another look. Try and figure out what's going on from back here, because yeah. Suave sort of crashed by himself. I feel Deco's a little bit at fault for this. I'm not saying for the whole thing, I'm just saying for this little bit. Not that I hate Deco, he's a really nice guy, but Arcus is sweeping. Hang on, let's go back to the 40. I mean, Deco is nowhere near alongside as we hit the apex. And you can see Arcus is coming in. You can see Arcus is coming in the whole time. And yeah, contact made. Turbo's got absolutely nowhere to go. Prime's not really got anywhere to go either. Turbo and Prime both hit the back of Deco. Deco's now going to have big damage as well. Turbo's then gone out wide. Somehow Arcus has missed out on damage. He's lost a ton of time in a ton of places, and Deco has only managed to get rear bumper damage from that. Whilst Turbo's come out front bumper and front left. Yeah, Prime and Turbo got the worst out of that, but Prime also gained a load of spots. Not through any fault or any foul play of his own, but yeah, you did break first. I'm not saying that it's completely your fault. I'm just saying, when you read the corner there, the Arcus's line was sweeping in, had you gone down to second and just let the engine braking pull you back just a little bit, then it would have been fine. As we got Prime giving Arcus a nudge as we go side by side through turn 2 as okay. So Prime gives Scotty the nudge. Excuse me. Yeah, that's just a bit too much speed. That's wow. Okay. So Aro. Yeah, this race is something. I'll give you that one, mate. So Prime's just murdered Aro in some form of way. Probably by complete accident. Just gave him a little bump, trying to be helpful, trying to push him ahead, but it's probably caused a little bit more damage than I probably caused the wrong intention. Not trying to doubt any of the drivers here at all. They're all incredibly faster than me. So now going further forward, we've still got this battle up here. Excuse me. As Tap, in all this chaos, is now up to third. Suave's just gone up the inside of Senor Fak. Is he going to try and get up the inside of Higgsy as well? Is he going to try and drive it? No, he backs out of that one smartly as well. No collisions made down here, which is a pretty popular spot going further forward. Tap's managed to go past Pyro, so Pyro now down to fourth. Davy up to fifth. Davy's tyres are now starting to drop as well. Tap's gone off into the pits. He's going to try and undercut a few people. He's potentially going to try and undercut Mortal. And so Davy's trying to get up the inside of Pyro. Let's actually stick with this. So Davy's got the switchbacks, made it work. Pass done before the penalty line. So really great move from Davy. Offset Pyro enough. But Pyro's got the higher straight line speed. He's also on hard tyres compared to Davy's mediums that are about the same sort of degradation, so this might actually be where the hards and the mediums cross over for these two, as Pyro's offset Davy. Pyro's got a beautiful line through the first 3 or 4 corners as Davy's gone slightly wider. Is he going to try and get the switchback? He's going to try and drive around the outside. Pyro just about leaves him enough space. Pyro's got a little bit off, says there's a little bit of contact. They're still both going, no damage done, no harm, no fouls. Pyro very firmly slams the door on David's face and keeps third position. David not able to get the inside line like Pyro, so this is now going to offset him. This is now going to make him vulnerable down this straight. We've got Higgsy and we've also got Suave just behind with Senor Fak just back from that. So it looks like Suave's pushing Higgsy along down this back straight. As we now come out the tunnel, we're going to be going 3 wide into the hairpin. We're definitely 2 wide, we might be 3. No, Suave just about backs out of it. Higgsy out wide. This is going to allow Suave straight up the inside. Senor Fak is still here as well. He's going to try and capitalise as well. Can't capitalise on the fact that Higgsy went wide. He might be able to capitalise on this as the Porsche loses the rear grip just temporarily. He's close but not close enough going further forward. Ross and Mortal come in. Ross is going to be at potential risk of... Okay, Pyro comes in. So does Senor Fak, whereas Davy, Suave and Higgsy all stay out. So the 2 medium runners are staying out, probably to try and do their 12 laps and then do 10 on the hard tyres, whereas Higgsy's staying out for longer. Let's see who else stays out. Scotty stays out. Samuel Fat comes in. Deco stays out. Arcus comes in. Icy stays out. And then we've got Turbo and Aro further back. We've now got 14 drivers, so I'm not sure which one left. I think it's Prime. So Turbo stays out and so does Aro. So Ross comes out ahead, critically ahead of Mortal. So the net race leader stays ahead at the moment. Mortal put a little bit more fuel in. He's going to try and rev out that engine maybe a little bit more, going further forward. Scotty's got himself a half-second penalty, but we will stay with the top 3. As Higgsy's in the highest starting hard tyre runner, still in 3rd position, trying to chase down these 2 medium runners who have about got the same tyre health. Suave coming from pretty much back of the grid, and now on lap 11 going up into 1st position. Takes an early apex. Davy takes a late apex. Can Davy get alongside? No, Suave very much shuts that door, but Davy gets it all sorts of wrong. Hits the inside wall at a corner. I didn't really think you could hit the inside wall, and gets front right damage. So this is now allowed Higsy straight up into 2nd, but these guys fighting, costing them valuable time as they all come in at the... Oh no, they don't. Oh, Davy doesn't. Davy stays out. What does Scotty do? Scotty stays out. Prime stays out. Deco stays out. Icy stays out. So there's a lot of different strategies going on. No, Prime's still here, excuse me. It wasn't Prime. Who was it then? We lost another car. So, Ross, our net race leader, still very much under pressure from Mortal. Ross is now up to 6th position. Pyro just behind them in 8th position. Does Pyro get out ahead? He does. Senor Fact does. So, Suave comes out in 10th. We then got Higsy just behind in 11th. Now, critically, Suave's going to get done by Turbo as well. So Turbo's now up to 10th. Suave on the hards, down to 11th, whilst everyone else is on the medium. So Suave's now going to start plummeting down the rest of the pack. Higsy on the mediums, with Arcus just behind in 13th. And we got Aro bringing up the rear after having done his stop. He's not far off the back of these guys. So I'm going to stay on board with Higsy for a second. No, I'm not. I'm going to go further forward. Sorry, I just spotted something. We've then got Prime versus Deco, excuse me, for 3rd position at the moment. As a lot of drivers are kissing that wall in the entry. So Prime comes in, Deco stays out, so does Scotty and Davy. Are they looking at the soft tyres? Icy comes in. This is now going to release, well, not really going to release. This is now going to, 2 less people for Ross to pass. Ross is not far back from the leader either. Mortal is still very much with Ross at the moment. Mortal trying to keep up with Ross, trying to find a way past Ross, trying to force. Ross is very hard to get past sometimes. Going further back, I want to stay with these guys. So Suave sitting in the middle of the road, holding his line, holding the racing, well, not quite the racing line, just on the inside. Higsy on the racing line. We got fresh hard versus fresh medium. Just behind that, we got Arcus in the GTR in 11th position, giving Higsy a little bit of a push, saying, come on, hurry up. So Suave and Higsy sort of getting sucked into the braking zone. Higsy gets a little push from Arcus. Suave goes a little wide, gets a little unsettled. So Higsy now up to 9th, Suave down to 10th. Arcus was about to have a lovely run, but then just made contact with the inside wall. Swavi now up to 9th again. Higsy does the switch back. Can he get 9th back again? Swavi's got the inside line. He does touch the dust. Higsy's forced out wide. Arcus touches the dust as well. Gets a better exit, but Higsy's now got the slipstream of Swavi compared to Arcus, who's now got no slipstream. So Higsy keeps 10th position at the moment. But here comes the GTR again. Higsy goes up the inside. Arcus opens up the corner, tries to get the exit over Higsy. There's a little bit of contact. There is contact being made up. I'm not sure if that was reported or not. So Higsy losing out to Arcus after a little bit of contact on the hip, and Scotty's come in. Deco and Davi are still going. Now going further forward. We got Senor Fak versus Pyro. Pyro in 6th, Senor Fak in 7th. Mortal just dropped off the back a little bit from Pyro there. Pyro had the fastest lap of the race, 4/10 faster than Mortal, so Pyro's on the move and very much in the moment in control of the pace. Further up ahead, Deco was almost 2 seconds slower the previous lap compared to Ross, and going further ahead than that, Davi was almost 3 seconds slower. So Davi trying to manage tyres at the moment, trying to just damage control as much as possible, going further back from that. Mortal was caught right up to the back of Ross. Ross might have had a iffy middle section. Going further back. Okay, we need to watch this. Let's come back here. Let's come back from where we left off. Go through turn 1, we'll stick on board with the GTR actually, as Swavi's struggling through the first section as Arcus makes up a load of time, sends it up the inside. Good move, I'd say. It's kind of a bit more of like a blocking overtake, I'd say. Higsy trying to capitalise. Swavi just sends it up the inside. Not really a place you really send it up the inside. This is going to cost him 10th. A nice position as Higsy says thank you very much, but it's not done yet. Swavi's still there, still on the inside. Does Higsy hit his marks this time? He does. Swavi doesn't quite hit the mark, but Swavi still gets a really good exit. This is bringing Aro in the AMG into contention as well. So the GTR Arcus has now disappeared. It's now a straight fight between Swavi and Higsy. Again. So Swavi in the slightly faster, in the straight line. Alfa Romeo 4 Series, he sends one up the inside, makes it work. So fantastic move from Swavi, even though he's on the hard tyres. So here comes Aro, as Aro goes around the outside of Higsy. Fantastic move from the outside. Higsy could have just stuck it on the inside and sent it, but no, Higsy did just lift off a little bit. So Aro up to 10th. Higsy down 2 spots as Swavi gets it all sorts of wrong. Oh, and so does Aro. Okay, I want to go back and have a look at that. What the hell happened here? So Aro all over the dust. Now got damage on the front right, so he's now basically, these guys have come back to the same positions as they were onto the back straight, and Aro's got to make all that hard work done again, and this time Higsy is ahead with a bit of clean air and clean tyres. I don't know. Alpha is definitely a rocket ship, yeah. So Aro dropped back a little bit off these guys, so Aro's now got work to do. Going further forward, I want to have a quick look over the rest of the grid. Senor Fak is still chasing down Pyro. Senor Fak was half a second faster that previous lap, so Pyro struggling a little bit. Deco's been passed by Ross and Mortal, probably somewhere around the... Oh, yeah, he had a penalty, I should imagine. excuse me, he's making that fuel last though. It's on lap 15 coming up to the M16. It's got to be going on to the softs. I want to go back to him. I'm interested in this. So Ross now having to defend from Mortal. Ross battling out for net P1 of the race. Mortal trying to go around the outside. As Ross defends the inside, lovely, denies the switchback of Mortal. Ross, lovely line through there, denies Mortal any sort of overtaking opportunity. Mortal was trying everything in his power. Davi finally comes in at the end of lap 15. He's probably going to go onto the soft tyres, I should imagine. We're going to stay with these guys for the moment. Both drivers trying to open up this final corner as much as humanly possible. They both get about the same sort of exit. Deco's finally in as well, but Deco's going to have an advantage. He's going to be able to either go onto the mediums or the hards, but there's less of that and more of the battle for first position as Mortal tries to go around. The outside of turn 1. Brakes a bit earlier. Ross is committed and commits to the inside line and takes and keeps first position at the moment. Both keep a steady, smooth line through the first 3 corners. Mortal opening up turn 4 more than Ross. Ross takes a slightly tighter line, keeps a tighter line. Mortal still all over the back of Ross. Ross not able to shake him too much at the moment. How's Ross's tyres looking? Ross's tyres are looking slightly better than Mortal's. Ross not quite as tight as Mortal. Does Mortal have a better exit? Tough to see in the dark. Not really. It's now going to be the battle of the slipstream. So Ross sits in the middle, moves to the middle to try and break the slipstream. He sits all the way up to the left hand side. That's his move made. So Mortal sticks to the right, opens up the corner. Ross has to brake a little bit more. Can Mortal just drive around the outside? No, Ross does his best to defend. Ross leaves enough space, but this time Mortal's got the inside line. So Ross finally loses out to Mortal, who's now in first position. Great battle from these two, plenty of respect between both drivers. Going further back, Senor Fak has finally gotten past, and Pyro for 3rd position. Arcus is now up to 5th, so Arcus having a great recovery drive at the moment. Turbo chasing down Arcus. Higgsy in 7th, Davy in 8th, Aro in 9th. Still, battling out for now 10th, still battling out with Swavy with Prime just in the background. In 11th position we got Scotty in 12th, we got Icy in 13th, and we got Deco who's out on the softs in 14th. Where did Davy come out? Davy came out in 8th and he's on the softs as well. So these guys are going to have tyre advantage for the next couple of laps, but those tyres are going to drop off pretty quickly. I'm interested in this for just a moment. Any moves made in turn 1? No. Going further forward, I'm curious about these two. So with just over 5 laps left to go, Mortal's tyres are looking okay. Ross's tyres are looking better. So Mortal able to open up a gap through the first sort of like sector, I'd say. Excuse me. Ross in 2nd, trying to chase down, but Mortal's opened up a nice gap. Senor back all the way back in 3rd. We then got Pyro in 4th, just dropping off the back a little bit, and his tyres are not looking that great either. Further back we got Arcus in 5th, whose tyres are much better. Further back from that we then got Turbo in 6th, his Higgsy in 7th, Davy in 8th on the softs. He's braking a little bit late. He's going to try and drive it around the outside of Higgsy. Is he going to make it work? He tries. Higgsy's not giving up as we're going side by side around the right hander. Oh, careful lads. Careful as Higgsy loses out big time. So these two not giving up an inch of road. So Davy up to 7th. But bear in mind he's on the softs. Those tyres are going to deplete very, very quickly as we got Turbo in 6th position defending Davy. Turbo goes a little bit wide. Davy able to open up the final corner. Does he get the drive? No, he doesn't. Going further back from that, Aro in 9th, Prime in 10th, Suavi in 11th. Now starting to drop down and drop out of the top 10. Everyone else in the 51s and the 52s, whilst Suavi's in the 53s and touching 54s now. So Suavi's strategy might have not been the best. He's given it a good go. He's given it a good crack. Davi all over the back of Turbo. Turbo doing a fantastic job of defending 6th position, and Turbo doing everyone else a favour at the moment. He's killing off the soft tyres. There's a sound glitch back there, unless Higsy collided with the wall. Turbo doing everyone else a favour, and he's killing off the soft tyres of Davi. Oh, Davi got a fantastic exit onto the tunnel straight, but I'm not sure if it's going to be enough because that Supra is incredibly quick down a straight line. Davi knew that. Davi is back in the slipstream. Refs the car out in 5th as he should. Now, is he going to Turbo defends inside. Davi's going to try around the outside. He's going to try and switch back. He's got to be careful though because Higsy's here. Davi does do it. Davi gets the move done. Does the switch back. Turbo's got to give the position in, but this is now potentially going to open him up to Higsy. So Davi up to 6th. Turbo did his best. He managed to hold on for a lap, but ultimately not able to hold on for any more. I'm going to stick with Higsy for just a moment before I go back up front. So Turbo going a little deeper. Higsy opening up the final corner more. Is he going to get a better exit? No, not this time. Aro in 9th, chased by Bronco in 10th, Suavi in 11th, being chased by Scotty in 12th. Suavi makes his defensive move early. No move made into turn 1. I want to go forward and I want to check up on the top 5. So Arcus in no man's land. Davi starting to, he's opened up the gap to Turbo and Higsy no man's land as well in 4th position, dropped right off the back of Samuel Fack in 3rd. Further ahead than that, Ross is starting to catch up with Mortal again. Ross's tyres aren't looking that great, but Mortal's are definitely worse. So we'll keep an eye on them. Further back from that, Icy all the way down in 14th. We then got Deco in 13th. Hang on. Excuse me. As Scotty managed to get past Suavi using the straight line speed of that Super, but he's not able to get the move completely done. Suavi's still just about there. Deco on the soft tyres. Is he going to try and get past? He's got a lot more grip. That gap has severely closed down in one corner. So Suavi on the hards, Deco on the soft tyres. Last lap was a 52.0 compared to Suavi's a 57.3, so Suavi's lap times are plummeting. And Suavi's also got much less grip as he has a slide coming out of the 3rd to last corner, but Suavi's still going to try and move up the inside. Doesn't make any contact. No. And Deco ultimately keeps the position, so Suavi's struggling now. Icy's just behind as well, so Suavi potentially could be down to 14th. At this rate. Going further forward, Prime is still trying to chase down Aro for the 9th position. Higsy's still chasing down Turbo for 7th. Arcus and Davi. What's going on here? That's what's going on. Aro's decided to go and cut some grass. As his teammate just sends it straight up the inside. No quarters given. No sympathy to your teammate at all, just sends it up the inside and carries on their merry way. Now further forward, we'll probably keep an eye on these guys for the next lap or so. Mortal's dropping off pace. Mortal's last lap 53.2 compared to Ross's of a 52.5, so we're going to keep an eye on these guys. Pyro, the ultimate teammate. Yep. Yes, Ross. It was a. I know I'm just reading comments at the moment, and it was ages ago that you said it, but it was a great move from Mortal, and also it was clean. Unlike the last time you two had an overtake with each other. I just wonder what's going on back here. Sorry, I just spotted this in the mini-map whilst you guys are just poodling around at the moment. No one's really close enough, but... yeah, I will. Swabby just go... yeah, Swabby's got no grip left. Oh, that's close. Just a moment, I'll come back to the top three. Swabby defends with all his might from Icy. There's contact after contact, but we will jump back forward to these guys. Gap's opened up a bit, I can come back. And these guys have opened up the gap as well, so we will stick with these two. For the final couple of laps, we'll stick with these two. So Mortal's front right tyre is very much nearing its life, and Ross isn't too much better, but it's still a bit better. He's still got a little bit more grip for the left-handers. Now, are we going to see anything down here? And Mortal's gone wide. Mortal's gone wide before the tunnel. Is this going to allow Ross to catch the slipstream and potentially even overtake? Mortal trying to break the toe straight away. Ross wise to that. Mortal sitting in the middle of the road. Straight line speed of that Corvette is quite surprising, as both drivers now on the red for the fuel tank, which is not a problem, so they've got plenty of fuel for the final lap. Mortal struggling with the left-handers now. Ross has definitely noticed this, as Mortal's struggling. I think they're starting to struggle all over the place. Yeah, his tyres starting to go. Oh, can Ross have a go here? Mortal knows he's vulnerable. Mortal shuts the door immediately. Ross opens up the corner. Be careful you don't cut the corner. Oh, careful. Ross nearly into the barriers as he just lost a load of momentum. He's just gained from Mortal's mistake a couple of corners ago. So Ross is now going to have to do all of this on the final lap. So we'll stick with these two for the final lap, and we'll come back to the rest of the grid later. As we go through turn one, Mortal clearly struggling. Ross is caught back up straight away, but Ross is struggling a little bit for car stability as we come to turn four. Not spinning out over the crest as we come to the left through turn 5. Ross doing his absolute best at every corner as we go through 6, coming up to 7. Both about even through 7, through the tunnel for turn 8, which is the long left-hander. Critical as Mortal again doesn't hit the apex. Ross does. Ross is sniffing the exhaust pipe of that Corvette. He can smell the American-made cheese as he now dives to the goes to the inside. His front axle's in line with in Mortal's rear, so these guys are now side by side as we come down to the final hairpin final hairpin for the final time, as Ross sends it straight up the inside. Mortal can't do anything about it, so Ross does a fantastic move in the place where he lost the lead the last time. Mortal, do you have anything left to give? Mortal tries to go at the inside. Ross wise to that. As we come down the hill, Ross hits the late apex and Mortal struggling to get the car to turn as Ross now just disappears. Ross has opened up the gap. There's nothing Mortal can do. If Mortal isn't careful, he potentially could lose out second to Senor Fak. As we come around the final corner for the last time, Ross, who's kept calm the whole race, led a majority of this race, finishes in first position, takes victory here at Trail Mountain. Senor Fat gets second. What happened to... What happened to the Corvette? Corvette ran out of fuel. So, Senor Fat takes second position. Mortal has an absolute heartbreaking third. Arcus gets fourth. Davy, on the soft tire, on a completely different strategy, makes it work, gets fifth position. Prime, excuse me, comes over the line for sixth, followed very closely by Turbo. Scotty in 8th, Turbo in 7th, excuse me, Aro in 9th, out of fuel as well. Pyro, Swavy takes 10th, Icy's in 11th, Pyro in 12th. Higgsy, what the hell happened? I want to go back. Let's go back a lap. I spent so long watching these guys, on top guys. So let's go back and let's watch these guys. So, Turbo versus Prime versus Higgsy for 7th position. As we go 3 wide into turn 1. No, Prime backs out. Rightly so, as contact's made. Load of dust is made as Higgsy gets tapped by Prime and then gets absolutely sent into... Alright, I want to have a word with you, mate. You just murdered a second driver on your second week. How dare you? So, moving further forward, what's happened to Pyro? Pyro's got no front right tyre. So Pyro's has been passed by Davy a little while ago. Pyro's struggling for grip around every single corner. Oh, Pyro's really struggling now. This is going to bunch these guys up a lot. Around the left-hander, which is where Pyro's going to struggle the most. You can tell the grip difference as Turbo goes a little bit wide. Prime nearly had the inside line on Turbo. Excuse me. But then hit the wall, so he just couldn't get anywhere, couldn't get going. Pyro's a sitting duck. He's got another left-hander coming up. He knows he's going to struggle. He knows it's probably done. So Prime and Turbo get past Pyro further back. So we got Icy trying to dive up the inside of Higgsy further back. We got the Lamborghini on really dead tyres. There's so much going on. I want to try and capture this all. Pyro losing so much time in the left-handers as he even goes off the track. So Sky's going to get through. Sky's gotten through. He's got an 8. Can Aro? He's just murdered another driver for the second week in a row. Can he get Pyro as well? Pyro's got no fuel left in this fuel tank. So Pyro under-fueled to try and get a light. Hasn't made it work. So Pyro's going to skimp out a little bit. Swavy holds off Icy as well. What happened? What's happened back here? So Swavy and Icy are having their own battle. Deco decides to pull the handbrake and do a handbrake turn. What? What? Why? What? Okay. Right, let's go back forward. As Pyro's got no fuel, so Aro takes 9th. Swavy holds on to 10th. Icy gets 11th. Pyro gets 12th after running out of fuel. Deco loses the rear again because he's got absolutely no rear tyres. What is going on with Higgsy though? What are you doing? Okay. I don't know what these two are up to, but there we go. There's the final order as Rost here takes victory at Trial Mountain in the feature. Oh, fair enough. No, I was just thinking, what are you doing? So there we go. There we have it. There is the sprint and the feature for Tier 2 as I quickly find the steward. There we go. So Senor Fak with a really, really strong performance extends his championship lead by 25 points. We then have got Aro in second after having not the greatest race in second. 1 point behind him is Turbo in third. We then got Davi in fourth. We then got Ross rounding off the top 5 in fifth. Second, third, fourth and fifth are all separated by about 1 or 2 points. There's even a joint third. So this championship is very much going to be, I reckon, a battle for second. Unless Senor Fak has a couple of horrid races. We then got the Lamborghini Hurricanes storming off into the lead with 95 points in first position. We got the AMGs in second with 74. And in third place we got the Corvettes with 65. So there we have it. An entertaining race as always. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you all soon.